My name is Carmen, and my brother is was an addict. And this morning I was, sorry, I forgot. Before I came to Al-Anon, I was a cook. I'm still a cook, but I'm just a different kind of cook, I guess. You know, my brother and I, we would cook a lot together, especially when we were kids. You know, that was when we were closest. Food was always our common ground. And we wanted to start a restaurant together. We had a name and a vibe, all of it. My brother, he could make you feel confident in yourself. Like when I was a kid and I was nervous or scared or I didn't want to do something, he would always tell me to just face it, get it over with. He would always say it's stupid, but he would always say just let it rip. He was loud and he was hilarious, and he had this amazing ability where he could walk into a room and he could just take the temperature of it immediately. He could dial it. I'm not built like that. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I had a stutter when I was a kid. I was scared to speak half the time. I got shitty grades because I couldn't concentrate in school, and I didn't get into college, and I didn't have any girlfriends, and I don't think I'm funny. I always thought that my brother was my best friend. Because we knew everything about each other. Except everybody thought that he was their best friend. He was that magnetic. I didn't even know that my brother was using drugs. What does that say? As we got older, I realized that I didn't know anything about him, really. He stopped letting me into the restaurant a few years ago, and he just cut me off cold, and that hurt. And I think that it flipped a switch in me where I was like, okay, fuck you, watch this. And because we had this connection through food, and he had made me feel so rejected and lame and shitty and uncool, I made this plan where I was going to go and work in all of the best restaurants in the world. I was going to work in real kitchens, fuck mom and dad's piece of shit, right? And it sounds ridiculous me saying it now, but that's what I did. And I got the shit kicked out of me. I separated herbs, and I shucked oysters and clams and uni, and I cut myself, and I got garlic and onions and peppers in my fingernails and in my eyes, and my skin was dry and oily at the same time, and I had calluses on my fingers from all the knives, and my stomach was fucked, and it was everything. And a couple years later, this funny thing happened where for the first time in my life, I started to find this, this station for myself. I was fast and I wasn't afraid, and it was clear, and I felt okay, I knew what vegetables went together, and proteins and temperature and sauces and all that shit. And when somebody new came into the restaurant to steak, I looked at them like they were competition, like I'm gonna smoke this motherfucker. I felt like I could speak through the food. Like I could communicate through creativity, and that confidence, I was like, finally, I was good at something. And that was so new and so exciting, and I just wanted him to know that. And fuck, I just wanted him to be like, good job. But the more he wouldn't respond, and the more our relationship kind of strained, the deeper into it I went, and the better I got. And the more people I cut out, the quieter my life got. And the routine of the kitchen was so consistent and exacting and busy and hard and alive that I lost track of time. And then he died. And he left me his restaurant. And for the last couple months, I've been trying to fix it because it was in rough shape. And I think it's very clear that me trying to fix the restaurant was me trying to fix whatever was happening with my brother. And I don't know, maybe fix the whole family, because this restaurant has, and it does, mean a lot to people. It means a lot to me. I just don't know if it meant anything to him.